blessed always, for the arms of God surround us. Let our joy be so triumphant that we rest in God and say Amen. Blessed always, for the arms of God surround us. Let our joy be so triumphant that we rest in God and say Amen.
Good morning and welcome to Unity in the Heart, a Unity Spiritual Center in the heart of St. Paul. We're so glad for everyone who is here with us this morning, whether you're the hardy souls here in person or the smart soul at home on your couches. Together we make one community. Today's service team, we have Dennis on piano. Paula Lammers, our music director, will lead the congregational songs. Our guest musician is Claire Vandy Cromert. And we have special thanks to Cheryl Fairbanks for online tech support. And our guest speaker and meditation leader, Longmire. We're very pleased to have you with us again. Mary, I will be today's platform assistant. And now Lou will lead us in our opening prayer, followed by the first congregational song.
Please, if you would join me in an opening acknowledgement and an opening prayer. You might gently close your eyes. We just acknowledge that we are so blessed and so thankful to know that there's one energy, one divine source in this universe, and that is us. We're part of the family. We belong. We're part of this energy, no less than the trees and the stars. And as we move toward our new objectives and our new plans for 2025, we know that we're walking with this energy. We're walking into that new experience with the awareness of our divine source. And we are so thankful for that and for all, and so grateful to be here. So it is.
Good morning, everybody.
Good morning.
Please join me in singing song number 2, Gathering in Song, and stand as you are able. We are gathering in song, welcoming the oneness, opening the doors of spirit wide. We are walking into light, starting out together on a journey through the miracles inside. There is abundance in our fellowship. This is a place we all belong. We place our trust in this great holiness. This is the moment, come along. We are gathering in song, welcoming the oneness, opening the doors of spirit wide. We are walking into light, starting out together on a journey through the miracles inside. This is a promise in our thankfulness. We know that when we seek, we find. We place our trust in this great holiness. This sacred space is yours and mine. We are gathering in song, welcoming the oneness, opening the doors of spirit wide. We are walking into light, starting out together on a journey through the miracles inside. On a journey through the miracles inside.
Announcements for today. Next Sunday, we will be offering a workshop presented by Reverend Lyle Schlunt entitled, Peace Be Still and Know That I Am God. The synopsis for this workshop is this: events manifest in our lives that turn our world upside down. Our peace may be disrupted by the experience. We may try to force an outcome that we want to have happen. Remembering our experience of the peace of God in our lives can bring us to that place of inner peace. The workshop is offered on a love offering basis, and there is a sign-up sheet on the guest table. Please join us if you can. And now we will recite our affirmation of faith. There is one and only one presence and power active in my life and in the universe, the all-loving and wise Spirit of God. Let us also recite our vision statement for unity in the heart. Led by Spirit, we recognize God within everyone as we co-create infinite love, peace, and abundance in our global community. The daily word for today, Sunday, January 19th, is inspired. My words and actions inspire others. Today, I reflect on the clear vision, powerful words, and courageous actions of leaders such as Reverend Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. I appreciate how one person's example can inspire so many to move beyond thoughts of limitation and focus on the possibilities for good that are always present. Inspiration can be thought of as the breath of God. I, like all people, am made in the image and likeness of the divine. I give thanks for people I have known whose vibrant faith and love, even in the most challenging circumstances, has inspired me. Guided by my divine gifts of imagination and zeal, I join with those building a world where each person lives freely and with joy. Our Bible verse is from the book of Genesis. Then the Lord God formed man from the dust of the ground and breathed into his nostrils the breath of life, and man became a living being. And now we will have our second congregational song.
Please stand and join me in singing song number 65, Lord Today. Lord, today I give you, Lord, today I give you all my fears. Lord, I give them to you. Lord, today I give you, Lord, today I give you. Lord, I give you my fears. Lord, today I choose. Lord, today I choose. I now choose from the banquet of life. Lord, today I choose. Lord, today I choose. Lord, I choose from all your gifts. Lord, today I follow. Lord, today I follow. I now follow my heart. Lord, today I follow. Lord, today I follow. Willing I follow my heart.
The Unity movement was founded on prayer. We would now like to focus our attention on our prayer needs today. Please take a moment to bring to mind any prayers you may have. Your prayer may be a prayer of concern, a prayer of gratitude, a joyful prayer, a frightened prayer, whatever is on your mind and in your heart this morning. And now let us pray together. Our loving God, we know that all prayers are answered in the perfect way and time. Our hearts and minds are filled with divine spirit as we feel the presence and power of God working through us. We affirm the highest good in all situations. Those present may place your prayer notes in the basket at offering time. We will hold them in prayer here at Unity in the Heart for 30 days and also send them on to Silent Unity. Also, anyone may send a prayer request to our prayer chaplains at unityintheheart@gmail.com. And now it's my great pleasure to welcome Claire Vandy Kromert with her first selection.
I was reminded that, yes, indeed, I do live in Minnesota this morning. And on top of it, I passed a car coming in just on, must have been Summit, that had a kayak on top. And I thought, wow, you go. I don't know where you're going to go, but. What's that? Only in Minnesota. Fear can be replaced with hope and drive and focus, and knowing that sometimes things take time. And I put these two songs together because they both talk about just that. Somewhere Over the Rainbow and Rainbow Connection. Somewhere over the rainbow, way up high, there's a land that I've heard of once in a lullaby. Somewhere over the rainbow, skies are blue, and the dreams that you dare to dream really do come true. Why are there so many songs about rainbows? What's on the other side? Rainbows are visions, only illusions. Rainbows have nothing to hide. So I've been told, and some choose to believe it. I know the wrong, wait and see. Someday we'll find it, rainbow connection. Lovers, dreamers, and me. who said that every wish is heard and then answered when wished on a morning star. Somebody thought of that, someone believed it. Look what it's done so far. What's so amazing keeps us stargazing. What do you think we might see? Someday we'll find it, rainbow connection, lovers, dreamers, and me. Have you been half asleep? Have you heard voices? I've heard them calling my name. Are they the sweet sounds that call the young sailors? I think they're one and the same. I've heard it too many times to ignore it. It's something I'm supposed to be. Someday we'll find it, rainbow connection, lovers, dreamers, and me. And I've heard it too many times to ignore it. It's something I'm supposed to be. Someday we'll find it, rainbow connection, lovers, dreamers, and me. 'Cause birds fly over the rainbow. Why then, oh why can't I?
Thank you, Claire. That was beautiful. And now I would like to welcome to the podium our guest speaker, Lou Longmire, who will present his message, followed by a meditation.
Well, let me start off with our song today. Lord, today I give you all my fears. That's a perfect metaphor for what we're going to be talking about later today. If you would just repeat after me. Lord, today I give you all my fears. You'll see where that's going to come into play. All right. A beautiful Catholic church. There's a wedding going on. And there are these two young boys, 12, 13, 14 years old, so sitting in the congregation. And they're chatting with each other. And one of them says to the other, says, how many wives can a man have? And the first one looks at him and says, well, weren't you listening? 16. And the first one looks over at him and says, 16, what are you talking about? And the other guy looks back and says, you didn't hear what the minister said? Yeah. 4 better, 4 worse, 4 richer, 4 poorer. 16. Well, we've just finished an amazing period of time, you and me. Starting a month ago or so, maybe even a little bit more, with the ending of 2024. You know, the solstice, the December solstice, really was a great punctuation point for the end of the year. And if we go back in antiquity, we know that the agricultural community saw this as a time when they're taking in the harvest and storing up for the new year. And so it was a perfect time to punctuate the end of the year and then step slowly into the new year, step into the new year. And we've kind of done the same thing. We had the end of the year, you know, and all of you probably on your own, whatever ceremonies you had to kind of tie up the year, tie up the loose ends. And then we had a burning bowl ceremony. You had your burning bowl ceremony, where you got to write down those things that you'd like to close the door on. Maybe they weren't bad things that you're, trying to get rid of. Maybe it was just business was done. You'd completed it, and you wanted to just let that go peacefully into the night. And so you wrote that down, and poof, it was gone as you sent it into the burning bowl. Then the next week comes the white stone. And that ceremony really reflects stepping into the new life, stepping into the new void, and moving from that point forward. And on that white stone, you had the opportunity to write down a new name or a new attitude, a new something you'd like to be, you can see yourself as. And it's really a moving into the future. It's moving into your list of objectives, your list of goals. Well, I want to share with you a story from the Bible. And it's reflective of that arc. It's reflective of that movement from through the course of time and through the course of life's experiences. And now it's time to launch into a whole new place for us. And it takes place during Passover. And this story, you may or may not have heard it. It was when Jesus and he was just this little, now, historically, there's not a lot of information available about who Jesus was and what he did from shortly after the time he was born until he was 13 or 14 years old. There's just not a lot of history there. There's not very little record keeping documenting what was going on in his life. But all of a sudden he appears on the scene when he's, 13. Every year his parents traveled to Jerusalem for the Passover festival. When he was 12 years old, they went up according to the custom of the festival. After those days were over, as they were returning, the boy Jesus stayed behind in Jerusalem. But his parents did not know it. Now, what I've learned about that time frame is Jerusalem had a population of maybe 100,000, 150,000, something like that. But during Passover, it swelled to more than 1 million because all of the Jews from the diaspora, from all over the known world at that time, traveled to Jerusalem to celebrate Passover. So it was a madhouse. It was crazy. And that's where Jesus got lost. They lost him in Jerusalem. Assuming he was in the traveling party, they went a day's journey back home, back to Nazareth. Then they began looking for him after that day among their relatives and friends. When they did not find him, they returned to Jerusalem to search for him. Now imagine you've got a 10, 11, 12-year-old boy who all of a sudden shows up missing, and you're thinking, oh my heavens, he's in this swarming, seething mass of people in Jerusalem. Well, after 3 days, they found him. They found him in the temple complex, sitting among the teachers, listening to them and asking them questions. And all those who heard him were astounded at his understanding and his answers. When his parents saw him, they were astonished. And his mother said to him, "Son, why have you treated us like this? Your father and I have been anxiously searching for you." Oh, I'll bet she was. Just imagine. Jesus said to them, "Why were you searching for me?" He asked them. "Didn't you know that I had to be in my Father's house?" But they didn't understand what he said to them. They left, and he went down to Nazareth with all of them, and he was very obedient. I bet he was obedient after that. His mother kept these things in her heart. And Jesus increased in wisdom and stature and with favor with God and with the people in the village. So he knew from the start. after that time frame, after the 12 years, the 13 years, it was really time for him to launch. He became the supernova. The story really started then. Let's just say he got his white stone, and he knew it was time for him to make his move. Now, did he have fears? Were there fears involved? Were there obstacles that he knew that he probably would have to overcome? No doubt. And of course, as we know, as the story progresses, there were some pretty huge obstacles that he had to overcome. But even from the beginning, what we hear in the story is that he went to his father for answers. He went to his father for guidance. In the Keys to the Kingdom, David Owen Ritz does this Keys to the Kingdom. They call it a prosperity seminar. It's really, in my view, if you've ever heard of Keys to the Kingdom, or have you done that here? Yeah, it's basically Unity 101, really is what it is. But David Owen Ritz goes through these different steps for seeing your vision come to light. And in one of these sections, it's the second section, he's talking about actually the concept of visioning. And what happens when you write down your vision for your future, when you write down your objectives or your goals or where you see yourself from right now on into the future. The good news is that you already have a rich and powerful potential within you, awaiting to be discovered, accepted, and activated. You probably have your list of things to do. You probably have your objectives written down or your goals for maybe 2025, but also your life, your future, where you want to go, where you want to be. The not so good news is that your fears and limiting beliefs often block your awareness of your highest possibility, making it difficult for you to conceive of living beyond your present limitations. As you reach for greater vision in your life, don't be surprised if your fears and old beliefs reassert themselves and argue for your limitations along the way. That's a natural part of the progress, natural part of the process. An idea as powerful as unlimited abundance will naturally flush to the surface all of our other beliefs and ideas. You may find yourself feeling doubtful, fearful, frustrated, or even unworthy. The thing to know is that there's a greater possibility that lies on the other side of these feelings. You must face them and heal them if you are to claim that possibility. Blockages, fears. Now, I don't know about you, but I wrote the White Stone. I've got my name on the White Stone, and I've got my list of things for 2025. And there's something I'm sure I've shared with you this as I've spoken here before. I have a plan. I have a goal. I have an ambition. And there's one thing that constantly gets in my way, and it has for 40 years. It's a fear. It's an obstacle. It's a hurdle. But I've never looked at it quite this way before. I want to share with you a reading from Science of Mind magazine. Fear, that four-letter word, often treated like a swear word. I've discovered that when I lean into my fear and ask what it's trying to show me, fear transforms from a dreaded enemy to a friend. When fear arises, I invite you to lean in the way you'd lean into a friend when they whisper. What's the message? What's the gift? What unhealed past hurts are being shown to you? How is fear stepping in and supporting you today? Wow. So, when I was a kid, I was not good at math. I mean, I was a dreamer. I was I wanted to go out and play with my friends and do army and, do all the things that scrubby little boys like to do. Math wasn't one of them. And I remember this was in junior high school, so I would have been, 12, 13 years old, junior high school. And we had this, now it was probably algebra. I don't know what the math was, what course the math was, but the teacher that I had was this old battle axe. This was in 1966, 1967, something like that. And her claim to fame was that she was a World War II bomber pilot who would ferry, she didn't fly in combat, but she would ferry the airplanes, from the United States over to England. And so she was just this battle axe of a teacher. And you didn't mess with her. And she was no nonsense, very serious. And I dreaded that class because I didn't want to study. I wanted to go play. I wanted to have fun. Well, she would call on me. And I would be just like this, sitting in a class, 30 kids. And I would just be praying that she didn't call on me. And of course she called on me. Louis, that's my name as a kid, Louis. You do not have permission to call me Louis. Say, Louis, what's the answer to number 7? Stone silence. Oh, I was mortified. I was just mortified. And of course she let the silence just kind of creep for a few seconds, and then she went on to another student who could answer the question. And I remember hearing from my mom, there was a parent-teacher conference at some point after that. And Mrs. Stortz was her name. And she told my mother, not only was Louis really bad at math, he's probably not going to make much of himself. She told my mother this. I would have loved it if my mom said, I reached the boom. And mom shared that with me. Why mom shared that with me, I don't know, but she did. So I don't know if that's where this worthiness issue comes from in my life, but I'll hang it on that for now. So this objective that I'm telling you about that's been dogging me for 35, 40 years is this issue of worthiness. Who am I to think I can go out and, do these wonderful things with my life and, shine like a star? I'm not worthy enough to do that. Who do I think that I am? Well, if you were able to take that fear and reframe it, to know that that's your soul suggesting to you there's an issue here that needs to be healed. If you can take that picture, reframe it, and change the energy behind it, I'm thinking of the concept of forgiveness. And those of you who remember the book Radical Forgiveness by Colin Tipping, it's so simple. All he talks about is try to understand what happened in that particular scenario. Like if I were to go back and look at Mrs. Stortz and what she was doing and who she was, who knows where she came from? Maybe she was living maybe her childhood was horrible. Maybe she was dealing with her own personal crap and she had no idea how to deal with this cute little kid. I was adorable. This cute little kid sitting in the front row who just didn't know math very well. In the world of 12-step, Bill W. was dealing with all of these grizzled old alcoholics, these guys who were agnostic and had no intention of finding God and falling to their knees and so on and so forth. And he wrote a lot about it in his writings. He talked a lot about it. And he's confronted with these people who want to know, well, how do I get God in my life? Because one of the tenets of the 12-step program is to give your will and your life over to the care of God. Well, that's a lot to ask for some grizzled old alcoholic who doesn't believe in God and who is an agnostic. So Bill writes, in thinking about our day, we may face indecision. We may not be able to determine which course to take. I would add to that, we may have some incredible fear that's flaring up and we have no idea how to handle it. We may have this blockage that's in our way and it's been with us for years and years. And what do we do with it? He writes, here we ask God for inspiration, an intuitive thought or a decision. Just give it up to God. Like in the first verse of that song, we just let God take the fear. Just allow ourselves to let go. Just let it go. We relax. We take it easy. We don't struggle. And often we're surprised at how the right answers will come after we've tried this for a while. And I don't know about you, but I've had the experience where there's an issue, there's a problem that I have, there's something I'm dealing with, and I don't know how to handle it. So I'll just flood my mind with this problem. I'll think about it. I'll analyze it. I'll just go nuts over it, and then drop it. Forget it. Let it go. And shazam! If an hour or two later, maybe that night, maybe the next morning, all of a sudden, bing, the answer comes. A name you couldn't remember. Bing, there it is. Well, I think it's my responsibility to tackle this fear issue by seeing Mrs. Stortz in a different way. You know, she was probably a lover. I'll bet her grandkids just absolutely loved her. I bet she was a total sweetheart. And for some reason, the chemistry between us just wasn't right. And so I had a problem with it, and it just didn't work at all. But if I'm willing to see past that, and to see that hurt, that pain that I might have been feeling at that moment wasn't intentional on her part. She wasn't trying to do anything to me. She probably thought it was the best thing, to let my mom know, you better try something else. So now when I think about that objective that I have, and I think about my white stone and where I'm going to go into the future, and I see that stumbling block, those fears come up, it's a little easier for me now to think of that fear as my soul saying, here's an area that we need to look at. This is where we might need some help. How can I give this up to God and let God take over and walk me through this? So I challenge you. My challenge for you today, all of us being New Thought adherents and knowing that prayer and meditation is really what we're built on. When you think about your 2025, or you think about what's you've written down for your goals and aspirations for the next period of time in your life, and those stumbling blocks come up, those fears come up, I challenge you to give that up to God, to just let God, just for a moment, just take that fear, take that stumbling block, and just forget about it. Just outline it like you're putting it down on a piece of paper, and then forget about it. Let it go. And see if an answer might come for you. If nothing else, just give up the energy and put it in God's hands. That's my challenge for you between now and the next time we might meet. And so, welcome to 2025. Welcome to the new age. Welcome to New Thought. With that, I say amen.
this world as it is. Go inside to find my God. I will leave this world as it is. Go inside to find my God. I will leave this day as it is. Go inside to find my God. I will leave this day as it is. Go inside to find my God.
I ask you to join me in a meditation. If you would, if you're willing, to gently close your eyes and find yourself in a comfortable position, your feet flat on the floor. Feel your body resting comfortably in the chair. Maybe you might want to turn your neck, twist your neck around just to loosen up the muscles in your neck. Feel yourself more comfortable. Move your shoulders. Swing your shoulders back and forth. Just loosen up your shoulders. And breathe. Breathe deeply and in connected fashion. Inhaling and exhaling. Let's continue breathing. With each breath, you find yourself more centered, more present, more in tune with your divine surroundings. As you sit in this room, knowing that you're surrounded by loving people, surrounded by divine source. You sense a warmth, a loving energy, a loving warmth emanating from the room. And even though your eyes might be closed, you can sense a brightness. And strangely enough, that brightness continues to grow. Is it coming in from the lights hanging from the ceiling? Is it coming from the piano? Is it coming from your fellow meditators? You're not sure, but it just keeps getting brighter. And it feels so safe. Safe and warm. It's like a love energy. And that light keeps growing. Keeps getting brighter. You don't care where it's coming from. You just sense the brightness. And soon, you realize that light is coming from you. It's emanating from your chest, It's filling the room. It's so warm and so beautiful. Such a lovely sensation. And you stay with it for a while, appreciating the connection, appreciating the truth. You are connected. You are exactly where you belong. You are here and belong here no less than the trees and the stars. This is your place to be. That light continues to grow, and its warmth continues to surround you, envelop you. And when it's your time to leave here this morning, imagine yourself walking out of this building, glowing, emanating that beautiful light. And all who see you, all who interact with you, oh, they can sense it. They can see it. It's a radiant, white, loving, divine light coming from your chest. It's so beautiful, so peaceful. As you go about your day, you continue reveling in that beauty. When you're ready in your time, I invite you to gently open your eyes, come back into this room with me, with your fellow travelers. With that, I say amen.
I will leave this life as it is, go inside to find my God. I will leave this life as it is, go inside to find my God. Go inside to find my God. Go inside to find my God.
Thank you, Lou, for your message and meditation. We're blessed by your presence with us today. Now is the time when we acknowledge that all we have comes to us from God, our source. With our gifts, we express our openness to give and receive and our gratitude for God's generous supply.
My gift goes forth on the wings of love, and it lands where it can heal and bless. It returns to be multiplied 1,000-fold as the universe says yes, yes, as the universe says yes.
let's join together in our affirmation of gifts. Divine love and wisdom flowing through me, bless and multiply all that I give, all that I receive, and all that I am. Let's join together in the blessing of our gifts. With grateful hearts, we bless our gifts and say thank you, God, for the abundant blessings we enjoy. We release our gifts as they go out into the world, expressing God's unlimited love, abundance, and supply. For those who wish to contribute electronically, if you are watching live, on the screen in front of you, you will see a QR code in the upper left corner. And if you know what that is, you can scan it to donate during the service. Or after the service, you will find a donate button on our website, or you can mail your contribution to us the old-fashioned way at Unity in the Heart, 1898 Eigelhart Avenue, St. Paul, Minnesota, 55104. And now it's time for Claire.
So Gina Stanfield and Megan McDonough are responsible for this song. And I just love it because it's so positive, and it's the complete reversal aside from what your algebra teacher told you. And I need to be careful. There we go. It's called Amazing Things. You will do amazing things with each day, each new day brings, and with every step you take. That's the progress that you make, the reason you live is there in every gift you give. Love your life, love your dreams. You will do amazing things. You know the places you will go, and the people you will know. Don't worry when or where or how. You don't need to know that now. You're on the right track. No need to look ahead or back. Just enjoy what each day brings. You will do amazing things. Amazing, amazing. You will do amazing things. Amazing, amazing. here to do amazing things. You don't have to work it out. Just stay in the here and now. Let your mind rest for a little while. 'Cause sometimes the best answers come when you're out there having fun. Close your eyes, take a breath, and smile. Amazing, amazing. We're here to do amazing things. Amazing, amazing. We're here to do amazing things. We're here to do amazing things.
Thank you, Claire, for your beautiful choice of music today. It's always a pleasure. And thanks to all who participated in today's service in whatever way you did. And we're going to close now by singing the peace song and saying our prayer for protection.
Let there be peace on earth, and let it begin with me. Let there be peace on earth, the peace that was meant to be. With God as our Creator, family all are we. Let us walk with each other in perfect harmony. Let peace begin with me. Let this be the moment now. With every step I take, let this be my joyous vow. To take each moment and live each moment in peace eternally. Let there be peace on earth, and let it begin with me.
The light of God surrounds us. I am the light of God. The love of God enfolds us. I am the love of God. The power of God protects us. I am the power of God. The presence of God watches over us. I am the presence of God. Wherever we are, God is, and all is well. Go in peace and have a blessed week.